Hello everybody, I'm Jack, and maybe you're watching this video because you would like to do a business, or you'd like to work with clients, or you would like to just be around the kind of people that you would like to serve. Um, because I myself was in a position of choosing a niche, and then I would just not feel like working with them for after a week or two later. I would be like, I don't feel like calling landscaping companies anymore. Like, why did I choose this niche? So whether you have a product or a program or service delivery, like video editing or coaching, whatever it is, the most important part is actually surrounding yourself with the kind of people that you want to work with. Because if you can start with the people, then this is all about solving problems at the end of the day. Like, business is about solving problems. That is a value exchange. Is when you give someone the solution to the bottleneck that is holding them back from their dream situation, then that is where money comes in. Because if you think about anything that you've paid for, like in the past month, you paid for it because it resolved some sort of gap in your life. So if you can start with the right people, then what happens is you start resolving their gaps. And now you're following a direction that is sustainable because you're following the gaps of the people you actually want to be around in the first place. So this is the direction. So my main point in this video is that it's better to be directionally accurate than specifically inaccurate. So if you start with the right room, first, just begin by choosing the place that you want to hang out. Then, as you go from there, solving problems, that is a sustainable direction because you'll really resonate with what these problems are, and you'll be excited to actually share solutions for them. So this is different from choosing like a specific external niche, like, oh, I need to work with people in this age range, with this hobby or this story. Now, you can totally do that, and it is important to niche down, but a lot of people start by choosing that before they've actually done the choosing of the right room. And then they're in the wrong room serving people with something that isn't sustainable for them. So how do you actually do this? So, the first step is to choose 1 to 2 communities. So I'm kind of referring to this online, because really so many people are, we have phones, we have laptops and stuff. And if you're watching this video, then you have access to this technology. And so yes, in-person connections are really important, and you want to surround yourself as much as you can with the right in-person connections. But for me, you know, I think we all understand that at the end of the day, phones are a part of our life. So this is a way to really have access to anybody you want to be around. So what I recommend to you is like consider the few qualities or skills that you would really like to develop in yourself. So if you're a musician, for example, and you play the violin, then and you really care about this, then the qualities and skills that you care about is like, you know, surround yourself with people that are maybe behind you, sure, so that you can help them. But if you really want to grow, like the first thing, surround yourself with people who are really damn good at the violin. Because if you get a teacher who is kind of worse than you are, then sure, maybe you'll be friends with them, but is that really moving you forwards? So if you're a musician, for example, then choose some sort of place online, and I'll talk about how you can do this, but choose like 1 to 2 places online where somebody has that skill and they're ahead of you in that thing that you care about. Or maybe you're creative and you want to get better at finishing your projects, or you want to publish a book. Okay, so this is great if that's something that you care about. So don't get in a room with people who don't finish what they say they're going to do. Get in a room with people who say what they're going to do and they do it. Get in a room with published authors. If you want to be an entrepreneur, then you want to be around people who probably have confidence, who have an abundance mindset, who are action oriented. They don't overthink, but they actually take action. Okay, so, if you have any interest in things like these, then this is a really good place to start. Or if you're confused and you want meaning, then get in a room with people who have meaning, purpose, and consistency. Um, so this is how you can start, by getting in the right room and then resolving problems from there. So once you've chosen like 1 to 2 communities with a room that you care about, then you can go into comments and chats and calls. This is how you get deep connections with these people, because to actually solve problems, you really care about getting into a deep understanding of their situation. Um, I actually thought for some time that I could get away with solving problems simply through understanding them with ChatGPT, research, and just data reading. Um, but these are numbers and they're very intellectual. But when you're actually speaking with someone, you get to sensitively, emotionally see what you feel like solving, and on a deeper level, understand what people actually need solved in their life. Um, this is in such a way that you cannot really tangibly acquire this data simply through um, metrics, because it's very theoretical and it doesn't feel grounded in something you'll actually care about. So, first step is choose 1 to 2 communities. Second step is to comment. And I say communities because this is different from just going into the void of social media. If you can join like a Facebook group or a school community or even like a Discord server that has these people, then you'll be in that bubble. But if you're just kind of sharing content into the void, then you can't, this can work, but it will take a long time. And you'll also be trying to create videos without much, you'll be really over, like, I mean, I'll speak from my experience. I tried to create videos without actually talking to people. And then I was just kind of brainstorming videos constantly. And then I got sucked into my own mind. And then I didn't even get any views in the first place, because you have to talk to people to actually make videos that people want to watch. Um, so the first step is yeah, choosing those 1 to 2 communities. And like, I'll list some in the description below if you care about like creativity, authenticity, or entrepreneurship. I'm putting 2 in the description below. Uh, and yeah, so a community is basically like a big bubble of it can be small too, but this is where people have that quality that you really care about. So like, you could enter a good musician community where people are really good at that skill that you really care about. So this is all online. Like, people say, oh, how do I find the right community? It's like, what are the qualities that you want to develop, and go into that space online. There are so many spaces online. Yo, everybody is online. So yeah, do it in person, get out there in person. But if you're also out there in person, you might as well be building something sustainable in the background as well. So yeah, after you choose those 1 to 2 communities, then you follow the natural effect of just going deep. If you were to go deep on 1 to 2 communities, then you would then go into commenting. So you could spend just like 30 minutes just contributing there, commenting, engaging with posts, and you'll see what sorts of things people talk about. You'll see what you want to deliver to the group, and you'll start to spark connections with people. This is where a conversation really sparks. It's the visibility round. It's the round of first meeting somebody. So you spark the connection. You can just do this simply by leaving comments in a community. It's very simple. Choose a community, freaking leave some comments, and keep doing this, because then you're probably going to think like, oh, this is getting me nowhere, and why am I even doing this? But you're contributing and you're becoming a familiar face. And this is very hard to estimate the amount of returns that this will provide for you. After you've left some comments, then you can start to DM with people, like go into chats. Uh, Much different, as you can see. What I'm showing you is a way to follow a direction of content creation and company and work that you will actually find enjoyable. Because as you can see, I've just told you to go into a community, to leave a comment, and to go into DMs with people. But the volume game, the SMMA agency marketing bro game, is the game where you choose a niche externally that you don't know if you care about it or not, and then you just crank out volume. So for me, I got really down on myself because I was doing outreach, I was doing calls, but I wasn't really sticking with it. I wasn't really getting results because it was all about metrics. It was all about volume. But what I'm specifically outlining is about depth. It is about quality. So you community, comment, chat, and then as you chat with people, this is the part that for me, because I kind of feel like I was introverted, and I kind of feel like I can be anxious when I'm talking with people, and it's like a personable conversation. But calls are like the fourth thing. This is where you go deep. This is where you understand the real friction from a tangible perspective. If you're understanding somebody's story one on one, this is like I said earlier, it's very different from trying to understand what people need by looking at the numbers. Like anyone can look at numbers and be like, oh, let me make a solution for that. But when you understand someone's story, then you feel like a very different emotional connection to what you're going to do. And there's so much live feedback in a one-on-one call. If you can meet up in person, that's kind of the fifth step. But going on a one-on-one call is a great way. So when you do this, you'll make three types of connections. You'll make people that are maybe behind you that you can help. You'll meet people ahead of you that you can learn from and you can kind of be their apprentice. And then lastly, you'll make friends, you'll make partners, people who are kind of at your level. So this way, you're not just focused on talking to your clients and neglecting everybody else. Like you get to work with people who will give you word of mouth this way. This is like a warm connection building process. And when you do this, people can refer you. So you can still get clients, even if you're talking to someone who isn't like a niche perfect client. So yeah, I used to think it was really low leverage to talk to anybody who might not be in the niche that I'm trying to serve. Like, why would I talk to you? You're not going to give me money. Why would I talk to you? And I know it sounds kind of mean and rude and disrespectful, but I've had those thoughts. But the thing is, when you still talk to people, but you're in the right room, then those people can be like, oh yeah, this guy is kind of cool. Let me like bring people into his circle. And then you do get clients by talking to people who are not your clients. So this is why we start with the input of the right room, because it's better to be directionally accurate than specifically inaccurate. So that's the main thing that I'm outlining in this video is choose 1 to 2 communities, comment there and just spark connections with people. Deliver value. Don't do this in a salesy way. Just deliver value, because the main thing you care about is actually getting connections going, because you're okay with talking to someone even if they're not specifically in an external niche, because you're following the direction. And then third, you chat with them, you go into DMs. And fourth, you go on a call with them. On a one-on-one call, I've talked about this, and if you guys have questions about how to go on these calls, you can ask me, but that is where you really get to understand people's friction, understand people's nuances of what they're dealing with, so you can really deliver value. And then from there, you can, it depends where you're at. If you just want to speak confidently, this is a great thing to do. Or if you want to clarify your offer, this is also really important, because you start to understand like what is something you could build that would be helpful. So if you want to make YouTube videos, for example, then talking to people like this in the outline that I just gave, this will help you to come up with the kind of content that people actually want to see. Or if you're doing like a coaching program, this will help you understand like what people need to be coached on, what needs to be involved with the program, or what are some like tools or resources that you can create, or a course that you can create. So regardless of whether you've already clarified your offer or not, or whether you feel like you want to develop speaking confidence, this process, especially for someone who feels like they can be socially anxious, or you've been overthinking and hesitant, this is a great way to just get out of your mind and into action, and also to get clarity on what you want to build and what you want to give people, whether that's content or a service or a product. Okay, so I hope that this is helpful, and if you guys have any questions, let me know. Tell me more about you, because I'm assuming particular things about the viewers of this video. Like I assume that you're in a particular sort of situation. But it would be great to not make those assumptions, and you could just tell me. Like, what do you actually struggle with? What do you want to do? And then I can make videos that way. So, yeah, you can also book a call with me if you just want to talk with no agenda. The link to that is in the description below. So I look forward to getting to know you and learning from you guys and creating more content. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out.